Hello and welcome to our mini webinar series on Screencastify today. So I'm going to take you through what the website looks like or how the app kind of works, and then I'll get you guys set up if you want to do the free trial that's available right now. Go through the steps on how you can sign up for that. So if you have it already and you're already set up, when we hit that mark, if you want to hop out, you certainly can. If you want to stay on just to be able to ask questions, you're welcome to do that as well. These run about a half an hour, so it's pretty quick, but at any point, if you have questions, interrupt me, ask a question. I'm happy to help. Okay, so let me drop in again in case you missed it in the chat. Let me just copy that. And then I will share my screen. There's the presentation we're going to use today. And that has all of the steps on how to get the free trial on there too. So if you miss a step, all that information will be on there. All right, you should be seeing my screen. I'm going to come over to my Screencastify. We're going to talk a little bit about it, and then we'll kind of dive in. So Screencastify allows you to record your screen. I'm going to walk you through what it looks like and how you kind of get it set up. But what you see in the box on your right is pretty much the standard screen that you're going to see, and we're going to walk through each of those processes for you. Screencastify does have its own program that you can kind of go through. So if you want to learn more, some of the best practices, really dive very deep into it, they have what's called a master screencaster program. It takes, I don't know, maybe a couple hours to go through, and they give you a quiz, and then you get this fancy badge that you see on my screen that you can put on your, your email signature block and put on whatever else you send out. But it gives you a little bit more in-depth information about the program. It's run through Matt Miller and Alice Keeler. So if you've ever heard those names, they're pretty big on Twitter, and they have their own websites, their own podcasts, their own everything. So they have some really great resources on how they use it within their classrooms. So when you're using Screencastify, you can use it for lessons, assignments. You can use it to create feedback for your students, explanations, check-ins. I'm starting to see some teachers are using it to create videos for like the end of the year activities. We're starting to see some of those come through where they've taken some pictures and images throughout some videos throughout their Google Meets that they're starting to put together. So we're going to talk about kind of those, but let's learn that platform a little bit. So up at my Chrome toolbar, you'll see that I have all these different Chrome extensions, but I'm going to go to the one that's Screencastify, which is like an arrow with a video camera symbol inside it. When I click on that, this box comes up. And if you don't have the free one, if you have the free one, you're not going to see this on top. But by the end of this session, you can have this as well, where it says Screencastify Unlimited. And what's nice about the Unlimited is you get some editing features that you don't have with the free. And then it doesn't limit you to 5 minutes. You can do longer videos if you need to. So let's talk about what you see on your screen. If you do the browser tab, what it's going to do is just lock you into the one browser. So let's say I'm recording just this Google slide and I don't want to click out to anything else. Browser tab is all I need. If I do desktop, desktop is everything. So every slide, if I minimize my screen, like if I go like this, it's still going to see it, that sort of thing. It's all going to be built into it as it goes through. If I do webcam, it's going to turn on just my face. So it's not going to show anything on my screen. It's just going to show me. The microphone is turned on. You're going to want that so that way it picks up your volume or your sound that you're going through. You want to try to use the built-in one. It's better than any other one unless you have a really good microphone that you can build out. Same with the camera. Use the built-in one unless you have something else you prefer to use. All right, so up at the top, on this pink toolbar, your recordings that you've already done are going to be listed here. Any notifications that they're sending you, which are usually just updates. So you can see like, here's some updates, some new features. Those are going to be showing up in there. And then in your settings, you can see some different options. I don't touch these at all, but you can see that they're there. On the left-hand side, you have the little hamburger. When you click on that, you're going to get a fuller fuller list of activities or things that you can resource or grab. You have your recordings. You're going to have your subscription, and this is where you're going to sign up for that free trial. So we'll come back to that later. You have the options, which are going to give you some different things that you might need to know, like where to save your videos, and if you want some different things to happen. So you have some different shortcuts, some privacy information. I usually just leave them as is. If you want to go back and change any of those, you can. In these 3 lines again, I also can open up the editor. That's going to allow me to edit any videos that I have. The classroom resources page is going to be a great reference for you because it's going to give you that beginner's guide that we're kind of going to walk through a little bit today. And it has that class that I was telling you about for Master the Screencast. And then they also have some free downloads for you on 50 ways to use Screencastify. They have Genius level courses that you can use. You could go through and learn more about it. 25 ways to use Screencastify with your Google Apps is a free download. They have some webinars. So if you want more than what I'm giving you in this half hour, you can do that. You can see all the shortcuts. And then they even have a junior one that your students can do if you'd like to, for your students to learn how to become master casterfiers or casters, however you want to look at it. So if you're having your students actually create the videos, you have that as well. All right, just to close these out and go back here and go back to the three lines again. You also have a help feature. So if you get stuck on something, that's where you're going to find out information. If you have more than one account, you can switch your account, and this is where you can sign out. All right. Any questions before I get started? I just want to take that attendance one more time because I know more people came in. All right, looks like we're good. All right, so let's dive in. So I've got this Screencastify slide up, and let's say I wanted to record something with it. So I'm going to click on the little record or the Screencastify button at the top, and I want to record my desktop. So that way I can move around different things. And I can turn on or off embedding the webcam. And what that means is I can choose whether or not my face is on there as well, or I'm just doing the screen. And I'll show you the difference between the two. So if I hit record now, you'll see how my face comes up on the screen here. That's one way to do it. If I don't embed my webcam and I hit record, it just immediately says, what do you want to record? This whole screen. As soon as I hit share, it starts the countdown and off I go. So with your kids, you know that maybe they want to see your face. It might be something you want to embed that webcam. So I'm going to do that just so you can see it. And I'm going to click share. When I do that, immediately I get this box at the bottom. It starts counting down, and now it's recording. And I know it's recording because I have the little red dot next to that icon right on my Chrome toolbar at the top. And I have this menu at the bottom that says video recorder sharing your screen. And then, which actually this one's the Google Meet one. I have the information over on the left-hand side. I can pause it. So it pauses the recording, and now I'm talking, but it's not recording my voice. All right, I can hit play and it starts recording again. I have 3 different types of, or 2 different kind of mouse kind of things. I have one that's like a little shadow one that wherever I move my mouse, it kind of highlights that one section as I'm going through. I can shut that off, and I can say, you know what, I don't want the cursor to be seen at all. So as I'm going through, not much is happening there. You just see my normal one. And then I can highlight my clicks. So if I click on something, it's going to highlight it, which I just shut it off. See how I have that little red circle as I'm highlighting? That can do that. So if I'm in present mode and I want to click on something, I can choose whether or not it's going to be on there or not. All right, so those are the ones on the top there for your mouse. I can also end the recording at any point. I'm still on pause right now. You see how the pause button is still there, but I can certainly start recording again and see how it changed to a red dot, and it's right there. I can still highlight those clicks that as I'm doing different things, it'll do that. I also get a pen. So in here, I have all of these different colors I can choose. And as I write on the screen, I have my pen. Okay, so I have all that in there. I can erase just the same as you typically would erase on anything on there. And then I can embed the webcam, or I can shut that off. So at any point, I can take my face out or put my face back in, and then I can hide the toolbar and it's completely gone. But it's hard to get that toolbar back if you decide to hide it. So that's up to you if you want that to be seen or not. When you're done, you can hit stop. and it's going to immediately open up the Screencastify platform. Once you do that, it's going to save that recording. You're going to see that if you're, let me just hit pause for a second. You're going to see at the bottom of the screen that if you don't hide that toolbar, it always stays in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen as you're going through. It mutes you immediately when you come into the editor feature, but you can turn that on so you can hear the sound. So if I click unmute Chrome toolbar at the top, and I have, you can hear that I was talking. On the right-hand side, originally it was saying that it's saving it. As soon as it's done saving, I can grab that copyable link and off I go. I can send it wherever I'd like. From the More Options tab, I can change this video to be public for just within my domain. I can keep it unlisted. I can keep it private, public, however I want to do, want to save this video. All right, it defaults to private, so you can leave it there. It automatically saves in your Google Drive unless you change that tag, that box. So that's up to you if you want to shut that on or off. But I usually just leave it as is, and I can grab that link. You can also share it by publishing it to YouTube. You can share it right to Google Classroom. You can send it by email. You can generate a QR code that kids would just have to scan, or you can even download it, and you can download it right to your device. You can export it as an MP4. So if you want to save it somewhere else, you can export just the audio. And if you were doing something where there was a little bit of animation, you can just export it as an animated GIF. Completely up to you. All of those features stay right here on that first platform when you first finish that recording. You can also rename them, which I highly recommend. All right, so that way you can find it easier. So you always have those features here. This isn't even the editing features other than you can clip the beginning and the end of it. That's what the scissors are at the beginning and end. That's pretty much all you can do, turn on and off the volume. But you also have this editor feature. And when I click on that, it brings me out to a full editing platform. Not as robust as like an iMovie or a WeVideo platform would be, but it's going to give you a few more options. You're going to be able to split the different videos. So as you're going through, I can choose to cut, and you'll see that it separates into sections, which is very handy if you want to embed something else in there. I can crop the beginning and the end of it. I can add a text box on top of it. So, and you have, you know, a few different fonts you can change it to. You can put a background color if you wanted to on it. You can change the size of the font to make it big. And then within this, you can move where it is. So maybe you want it to be at the bottom of your screen. So as it's playing, it's going to show a pop-up. You can only do one thing on it. So it's not like you can do different parts throughout where different things pop up, but you can always do this one thing somewhere on it if you'd like. All right, so you always have that. You can delete it if you don't want it anymore. You can undo if you want it to go away. However you want this information to be. You can make it bold. If you highlight it, you can make it bold. There you go. Now, I mentioned that you can add in more video. So let's say you're going through and you want to put a video in between. You click the plus over here and you choose where you're going to grab that other video from. Is it from your Google Drive, or are you going to upload it from your computer? All right. And like you see here, I have the text box here. I can always put another text box here. And it will keep the different parts and show it different parts, but just, it's not like you're going to want to put these every every 5 seconds or whatever. You know, keep it kind of simple as you're going through, because you'll see that it puts it on each clip. So it'll stay for that whole clip. It's not like you can do different ones within it. You'd have to split each one before you do the next clip. See how now I have the T on each of those sections, and then you can change what it says in each of the sections. All right, I just showed you a ton of things. Let me come back and see any questions. You guys are super quiet right now.
I do have one question.
Sure.
I don't know what you called it, but the toolbox at the bottom that gives you all those opportunities. Sometimes I'm using Screencastify a little bit. Sometimes it shows up there and sometimes it doesn't. And I know you said it's hard to get back. I don't know that I've exited out, but it seems like sometimes in the middle, when I'm doing it, it's there and sometimes it's not. Is there a way to try and every time, or?
Yeah, I find it to be one of those little things too that is difficult. Like let me just pull up another one. So let's say I'm not going to embed this one. As soon as you hit record, if you're doing the whole screen, it should stay at the bottom for you down here. But yeah, if I exit out, I don't know how to get it back. I haven't figured that one out. So you must have hit it or went away from it or something like that to make it go away. There should be, I'm trying to remember. There's sometimes in here it is. You might have shut this off. So if you're in your box at the top, you might have shut off where it show the drawing tools. So if you know you're not going to use them at all, you can shut them off so it's not in your way at all. But I don't know how to bring it back if you've X'd them out. It's kind of like you're saying, yeah, I'm done with them. So you might have turned that down. You can also up your countdown in here too. I find the 3 seconds to be perfect, but if you need 5 seconds or more, you certainly can add it in there as well. So yes. Other questions as far as, there it is, some of the basics with using Screencastify. Okay. So I showed you how to do the desktop, and the browser tab, like I said, the only difference is that it locks you in. So if I'm just showing this screen, that's all it's going to let me do. So if I go out to another tab, that screen won't change for the people that are recording it. So just know that if I mean, it might be exactly what you want. You're just screencasting over a slide deck and you don't need anything more. It's great. But if in your slide deck, you have a link to something else, make sure that you're using desktop, not the browser tab for that to happen. If I'm going to do the webcam only, just to kind of show you what that looks like, you'll see that it's just me on the screen, no drawing tools, no other features. All it's doing is recording me. So if you're just doing a quick hello kind of greeting, you're sending a video as a response to, hey, you did a really great job on something, you're just doing a quick check-in, you might want to do it this way. All it is just a recording of you on the screen. Again, as soon as I hit stop, it's going to open up in a new window. I've got the video playing up there. You can see how often I talk with my hands. I can unmute it. I can title it, and you can see it saving to my drive. I have all the same features. The editor works exactly the same. So let's say you have a whole video of something, but you realize you forgot something. You might want to do a quick video of just yourself, embed that into your video as you're doing that editing. I'm going to delete that. And that's pretty much Screencastify. I mean, it's a pretty simple tool as far as what's available in this toolbar. As far as the videos go, you'll see this is my library of recordings. They all stay in here for me to grab and use. They're also all in my Google Drive as I'm going through. And I can grab and use whatever I'd like. So, you know, I can create different things with it. I can organize it any way that I'm interested in, you know, but in here you'll see like all these untitles are tough because I don't know what they are. I would definitely recommend naming them. Usually the untitles are ones I probably should have deleted and forgot as far as that goes. When they save in your Google Drive, they save in their own folder that says Screencastify to make it easy for you to find. They are time-stamped, and then whatever you label it is what they'll be labeled there as well. All right, so let's kind of move along a little bit here. I showed you how to get the Google Drive link. Sharing it to Google Classroom was on that toolbar too. I think I showed it, but let me just show it again. Actually over here. If I'm in my video details, I have the share to classroom. If I've already recorded it, let's say I wanted to do this one, as soon as I open it up, I get share to classroom again. So that's always available to you. Sharing it to YouTube is just a click of the button. It does take some processing time, so I would definitely give yourself some time to do that. Sometimes I find it faster actually to download the video and then upload it to YouTube. I always save my videos as unlisted, so somebody has to have the link in order to find it. It's not searchable that way. And that way I only share that video with people that I gave the link to. I mentioned the different training. That training, again, is located in the 3 little lines. Classroom resources, and then you'll see the Master Screencaster course, the Genius class, which I took too. This one was with Alice Keeler. It says 45 minutes. I want to say it took closer to an hour because there's an exam at the end. But then you get this cute badge and you can display it proudly. So that information is there. All right, so those of you who need a free upgrade, I'm going to walk you through the process. If it's too fast for you as I go through, all of the steps are on the slide deck. So if you have the slide deck, you can always toggle between if you get lost with me here. But what you're going to do is actually search Screencastify. I just go out to Google and search it. It's going to be the first one that comes up, and you're going to click on it. When you click on it, it's going to open up to their screencast page, or they're going to open up to this page where you can add it to Chrome. You're going to have to click, I think it's 3 times. You click Add to Chrome. It's going to open up in the Chrome Web Store. You're going to click Add to Chrome again, and then it's going to verify that you want to. So you're going to hit either install or, you know, add to Chrome, whatever the last final button is. So I think it's a 3-click kind of thing as it loads the pages to make sure it's definitely what you want. Once you add it to Chrome, you're going to have to sign in. Use your school email. Use your Gmail account that you have through school because it's going to save everything from your all the videos that you made right into your Google Drive, and you want it all to be connected. So use your school one for this. You click sign in with Google, put in your username and password that you typically use for school, and you'll be set there. I'll give you a minute to get that one done. Once you do that, and this is a very important step, you need to make sure to unlock the camera and the microphone and the drawing and annotation tools if you want those tools available to you. If you decline the camera and microphone access, they're either not going to have a video or you're not going to have sound, and getting them back sometimes is harder to find the steps to unclick to bring it back. So I highly recommend that you just set them up now to set those permissions. It might be a pop-up that comes up on your screen. I know on my Mac it comes up as a pop-up, but on Chromebook sometimes it just is, it's kind of buried a little bit. So do it here. So that way it generates whatever it needs to do to give those permissions. Once you do that, you're going to click on My Account. And you can access My Account from that screen if you're following along with me. Or in the, now that it's on your toolbar, you click the little hamburger and go down to, what is it? My subscriptions, where we're going to go next. You can always click on there to get to that spot because that's going to be our next step. Once you are opening your account and you hit My Account, you're going to click under My Subscriptions to subscribe now. So once you have it, you're going to see that my subscription's already there. But if you're just doing it for the first time, there's going to be a button here that says Subscribe Now. It's going to look like it does on my screen. Click that button. And this is going to give you that free upgrade that you need. You're going to see where it's going to try to charge you, the 50 bucks or whatever it is, but you're not going to click enter payment info. You're going to click on redeem coupon. We're not going to give them any of our billing information at all for this process. We're going to click redeem coupon, and we're going to put in the code CAST_COVID, and I'm going to type that in the chat for you. Copy and paste that, and that's going to be the code that you need to be able to start that free trial. And then yours is going to actually look like mine does, where it says you have 1 active license. They gave me a subscription. Actually, my date is longer on this one because on my work account, I paid for it. So yours is probably, I think, till like June 30th. I'd have to go into my, I have the free one on one of these. Is it that one? No, this one. So I'm just looking to see. Yep, May 21st. It looks like the freebie takes you to the end of May. So you'll get hopefully until we're back at school. It's how that will kind of work. All right, moving on. Stop me if I'm going too fast. Once you put the coupon in, the cost should change to 0, and you're going to click Activate License. Once you do that, you are all set. Any questions for me? Come back so I can see your faces. Are we good? Any questions on Screencastify, how to use it, any of those kind of things? Waking up on a Monday.
Lori, I have a question.
Sure.
It's Beth Danette. So if the tools disappear, do you stop the video up in your toolbar? Like, do you click the stop on the little icon?
Yeah, that's what I've done when I'm using it is I'll stop the video and start a new one and then just stitch them together in the editing one if I need that toolbar to come back. As long as you don't hit the X, it shouldn't disappear, but sometimes you're moving along a lot of things and you just can't find it again. I find it quicker to hit stop or pause, find it again, and then come back in. Yeah, I've had it go away when I'm doing long ones, so keep it short and I think you'll be all right.
Okay. But I can stop it by clicking on the top of my, okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. And it's one of those things, like, it depends on how much you need it. I actually prefer, and I did a webinar on this one too. I actually prefer to use a different tool than the tools that are built in. You know, I'll use like a Jamboard or, you know, some sort of whiteboard app, if you want to look at it that way. That way I could put that full screen and be working in that instead of using their basic tools, because, you know, the other ones are much more robust.
Okay.
But if you want to write right on a slide, I can see the benefit of, you know, just grabbing that quick tool there.
Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions? All right. If you ever need anything, you know where to reach me. I think I did attendance with all of you here, but I'm going to click it one more time to be sure. Let me put my email in. All right. If you ever need anything, just reach out. I'm happy to help. Enjoy the rest of your day.